Good day, welcome to another episode of Fast Math Solution. So today we will be dealing with word problems involving fractions. A lot of students battle with questions like this. They face a lot of challenges trying to decode, trying to interpret the word problem. And a lot of teachers have different methodologies which they use to teach this particular topic, this particular word problem. Some may tell you, okay, let this be X. For question like this now, in an examination, 5/8 of the candidates passed and the rest failed. Now, if those who failed were 120 in number, how many candidates were there altogether? How many candidates wrote the exam? So some may start by telling you, let the candidate be X, 5/8 of X, this and this, blah, blah, blah. But I tell you, that is a waste of time. That's a waste of time. So there is an easier way of solving questions like this, which is what I want to expose you to. So when we come across word problems like this, the first thing that should come to your mind is we take the old to be 1. So that is the first step. The first step, you say let the O be 1. We take the O to be 1. That means the O candidates that wrote the exam, we take them as 1. So in the question we were told that 5/8 of the candidates passed. So fraction passed, that means the fraction of the candidate that passed is what? 5/8. Don't forget, we have established that the whole is 1. So the whole has been taken to be 1. So if out of the whole, which is 1, 5/8 of the candidate passed. So we need to find the fraction of the candidates that failed. So the fraction that failed will now be 1 minus 5/8. We subtract that 5/8 from the whole. In my previous video, I had already taught you magic fraction, how to quickly solve problem like this. So when you have 1 minus 5/8, this is 1. When you take away 1 from this, that's nothing, that's 0. So you just subtract the numerator from the denominator, 8 minus 5, which is 3/8. So that means 3/8 of the candidates failed. And the question we're told that if those that failed were 120 in number, so they gave us the number of the candidate that failed, but they didn't give us the fraction. They gave us the fraction of the candidate that passed. So we have calculated the fraction of the candidate that failed. So what that means is 3/8 of the total candidate is equivalent to the 120 that failed, because the fraction of those that failed is 3/8 and the number of those that failed is 120 as given in the question. So that means 3/8 of the entire candidate is that 120 students that failed. So to get the total candidate, so you divide 120 by 3/8. So the total candidate, which is the question mark, is 120 divided by 3/8. And when you have this, you flip the other side. When you change to multiplication, you have times 8/3. So 3 in 12, that is 4. And 3 in 0, that is 0. So at the end of the day, you have 40 times 8, which gives you 320. So in total, we have 320 candidates. So you can always check your answers and you find out that you have gotten the right answer. So this will save you a lot of time instead of using X. Let this be X, let that be X, and all of that. Let's quickly look at the second question. I want to expose us to another quick way of solving this. Similar way. After reading 255 pages of a storybook, there still remain 1/4 of the book to be read. how many pages are there in the book after reading 255 pages of the book. So another thing you need to ensure as math student is that you may need to read the question over and over to understand it before you interpret. So after reading 255 pages of a storybook, there still remain 1/4 of the book to be read. So don't forget, the first thing I said is that you establish that the whole is 1. So we take the whole to be what? The whole book is taken as 1. The whole book is taken as 1. So 255 pages have been read, but they didn't give us the fraction that have been read. They only told us that there still remain 1/4 of the book to be read. So that means fraction unread, that means the fraction that has not been read is 1/4. So what does that suggest to you? You simply take note that the fraction that has been read will now be what? 1 minus 1/4. Subtract that 1/4 from the whole, which gives you what? 3/4. That means 3/4 has been read. And they told us after reading 255 pages of the book. So that means this 3/4 is the 255 pages that has been read. So you equate 3/4 to 255 pages. So at the end of the day, you have 3/4 of the entire pages, question mark, which is 255 pages that have been read. So the total pages in the book, which is the question mark, will now be what? To divide 255 by 3/4. And here you have 255. When you change this to multiplication, you flip the other fraction, divided by what? 3. So we divide 3 here 1. 3 in 25 is 8. 24, remainder 1. 3 in 15, that is 5. So that gives you 85 times 4. And by the time you multiply 4 times 5 is 20. 0, keep 2. 4 times 8 is 32. 32 plus 2, that is 34. So that means we have 340 what? Pages in total. I hope you have learned this. So these are the fast way, the easier way of solving word problem in fraction. And I hope you take your time to go through the video over and over to gain mastery of the subject. So thank you for your time and see you